Okay, guys, as mentioned, I'm going to complete the assembly of the pain wand. And what I want to share with you is the importance of being able to interact with plasma. So what the pain wand actually does is it finds a balance. It finds a balance just as you would find a balance as you do every day, but you don't even think about it. For example, to give you an illustration of pain, pain simply is an extreme experience on a normal, otherwise normal field. So for example, if you've ever gotten burned at a stove or with some hot water, it's not the water that actually burned you, but the temperature of the water that burns you. So what we're talking about basically is an extreme. You know, temperatures can range in high extremes or low extremes. And what hurts us are the high extremes or the low extremes. You get burned when the temperature is extremely high. You also get burned when the temperature is extremely low, such as freezer burn or frostbite or things of that nature. But when you can bring a balance where it's right in that range of operation that's comfortable, that is where we can exist without fatigue and without pain. That is what these coils do. They find the balance. If you have too much of one thing, then it will remove some of it. And if you have too little of another thing, then another coil will add some of it. For the same reason as why the planets don't drift apart or the moon doesn't fall and crash into the earth, because the gravitational and the magnetical, they find a balance so they can coexist without extremes. Okay, some of you guys think, oh, the winter's pretty cold. Well, that's not really the extreme we're talking about. And then you might say, oh, the summers are really hot. Well, that's still not really the extremes that we're talking about with regards to the planet. Anyway, so what we're going to do is assemble it, and you can select any housing that you like. The important thing is that we have a nice size wand, which is going to enable us to interact with the field forces significantly, so you don't have to wait for a long time to experience the benefits of your pain wand. You will actually experience the benefits immediately in some cases. In fact, in most cases, I mean, we're talking about maybe 95% of the times, you're going to experience the results of it immediately. Okay, so what I've chosen to use are just some pieces that I found available in the store that are inexpensive. You don't have to go crazy to make your systems so expensive. And what I've done, I've drilled out a hole in the bottom so that I could affix something to it as a point. What I actually bought was a case of, as you can see, these are basically grease fitting assortments, 50 pieces, and they were for about $6.99, call it $7, and you can pick them up at your local, I would say Harbor Freight, because I can't find these things anywhere less expensive or more economical than I find them there. And what you do is you can use some of these fittings as the ends. You can use, you know, a alternating size, small for the point and larger for the end of the wand. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll affix, you know, a point. You drill it out just so it's at the point where you can actually screw it in. Okay, just to give you an illustration. And then you screw it in. You screw it in, you know, to where it's comfortable. And then, so as you can see, once you drop the wand inside, it makes contact with that tip. I mean, I'm not going to fully assemble everything, but you can, just to give you an idea, you know. And then, of course, once you put that inside, and then you close it with the other, with the top, you can, of course, adjust the length of your coils. You can cut them. Just make sure you have a point where it protrudes. Okay, you don't want to cut into the coils themselves, but the point. Okay, so you can cut the length of this down so that it will fit within the confines of this tube. Okay, so you fit that in. You place your cap on. Okay, what I'm also going to do with this one, because I want to have the utility of both ends, I'm going to put a larger one on the top. Okay, so that you'll know the difference between the point and the top, okay? Heel and toe, so to speak. All right, so that's how you actually assemble it. And then once you assemble that together, you know, you adorn it with whatever decoration or design that you like. In this case, what I've used are the same material that I use to do the housing for my MagRav unit. I use the same material so that I have a homogeneous, you know, appearance. Again, and that's it, guys. That's really how you make your pain wand. And once you wrap it and you adorn it the way you like, you're done.